friends. How are you? I hope you all are safe at home. Home, stay safe. I am again back with you with certain topics of the chapter Sexual Reproduction in Flowering Plants. Today's topics are flower, parts of flower, stamen, microsporangium, microsporogenesis, and pollen grains. Our first topic is flower. As you all know that flower is the reproductive part of plant and helps in sexual reproduction in flowering plant, that is angiosperms. Flower is a modified reproductive shoot and most fascinating and attractive structure of plant. It helps in fusion of male and female gamete. Flower has been admired by human beings since long time due to its beauty to environment, rituals, religions, medicines, and sometimes source of food also. This is the diagrammatic representation of longitudinal section of a typical flower showing all its parts. Next topic is parts of flower. There are 4 parts of flower. They are calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium, also called as sepal, petal, stamens and carpel or pistil. Out of these 4 parts, calyx and corolla are non-essential or accessory whorls, whereas androecium and gynoecium are essential or reproductive whorls, as they take part in sexual reproduction, so that is why they are called as essential. This androecium and gynoecium are also called as male and female part of the flower. This figure clearly shows about the parts of flower. All the 4 hulls or floral appendages are attached on to the receptacles. Now we will study about stamen. Stamen is the male reproductive part of flower consisting of anther and filament. The anther is generally bilobed with chambers that contain several pollen grains. Each lobe of anther has 2 theca called as dithecus. So altogether there are 4 chambers in an anther. A very young anther consists of a mass of undifferentiated thin-walled cells bounded by an epidermis. As the anther matures, it becomes 4-lobed and each lobes are joined by connective, and these connectives are sterile tissues. Each lobe of anther contains an elongated chamber, and this elongated chamber is called as microsporangium, and this microsporangium further forms pollen sac. This is the diagram of a typical stamen as well as 3-dimensional cut section of an anther showing 4 pollen sacs containing pollen grains. Next topic is microsporangium. Microsporangium is surrounded by 4 wall layers. They are epidermis, endothecium, middle layer and tapetum. Epidermis, endothecium and middle layer of the microsporangium helps in protection as well as dehiscence of the anther to release pollen grains. Whereas the tapetum, which is the innermost layer of microsporangium, provides nourishment to the developing pollen grains. Cells of tapetum have dense cytoplasm and more than one prominent nucleus. In the young anther, each microsporangium is occupied by a sporogenous tissue present in the center. Where sporogenous tissues are present? They are present in the center of the microsporangium. The given figure shows about the transverse section of mature anther and enlarged view of one microsporangium showing its 4 wall layers. It also shows about a dehisced anther to released pollen grains. Now we will read about microsporogenesis. That is how microspores are formed. That is how pollen grains are formed. So when the anther mature, the sporogenous tissue, where the sporogenous tissues are present, they are present in the center of the microsporangium. So this sporogenous tissues undergoes a few mitotic division to form microspore mother cell, MMC, and they are also called as microsporocyte. These microsporocytes are diploid and are closely packed. The microsporocytes divides meiotically to form 4 haploid cells called microspores or pollen grains. They are in groups, so they are called as tetrad, means consisting of 4 pollen grains. Then they released out when anther dehisces. Now the next topic is pollen grain. Since pollen grains are the outcome of meiotic division, so they are haploid in number of chromosomes. They have a nucleus and mass of protoplast. Each pollen grain is differentiated into 2 layers. What are the 2 layers? Outer layer exine and inner layer intine. The exine is thick, whereas intine is thin. The exine is made up of a complex substance, and the complex substance is called sporopollenin. And due to the presence of sporopollenin, pollen grains can be preserved, and they are the most resistant biological material known since. This is the diagram of a typical pollen grain showing its various parts like exine, intine, nuclei, cytoplasm, germ, pore, etc. As we have studied just about the presence of sporopollenin on exine, there are so many characteristic features of sporopollenin. This sporopollenin can withstand very high temperature and strong acid as well as strong alkali. Till now, no enzyme degrades the sporopollenin is known. The exine are of different in size, shape and ornamentation, and due to this it is of great value in taxonomy. For your kind information, students, the branch of science that deals with the study of pollen grain is called palynology. This figure shows about the electron microscopic structures of different texture and shape of pollen grains of exine. Exine is not uniform at every places. At 1 or 2 places it is very thin, and at these are the points from where pollen tube emerges out during the germination of pollen grains. The intine of pollen grain is made up of pectin and cellulose. When pollen grain mature, it divides mitotically to form two cells. What are these two cells? The vegetative cell and generative cell. This is the figure showing development of pollen tube. It has been seen earlier that mature pollen grains contain two cells, the vegetative cells and generative cells. Among these two cells, vegetative cell is bigger and large. Amount of reserve food material is present, and it has also a large irregularly shaped nucleus, whereas the generative cell is small and floats in the cytoplasm of vegetative cell. The generative cell has dense cytoplasm and nucleus. In majority of angiosperm, the pollen grains are shed at this two-celled stage. But in some other cases, the generative cells again divide mitotically to form two male gamete, and hence they are shed at three-celled stage. This diagram shows about the enlarged view of pollen tetrad and stages of a microspore maturing into pollen grains showing vegetative cell and generative cell. Pollen grains of some species like carrot grass or parthenium causes severe allergies and bronchial afflictions like asthma and bronchitis. Pollen grains are also rich in nutrients, so they are taken as food supplement in the form of pollen tablets. It also plays an important role in crop breeding programs, as it can be stored in liquid nitrogen, that is at minus 196 degree Celsius for further use. So this is all about today's session, children. Thank you, and for any kind of doubts, please write your questions in comment section.